Joining me in studio for more on this is Professor Pitika Ntuli. He is an African historian. Professor, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, and to the viewers.
What are your fondest memories when you think of Thando Klaasen?
A part of my life, I grew up in Sophia Town. She was part of what you could call the Sophia Town Kofifi Renaissance. It was a time of Net Nakasa, of Ken Temba, of Casey Mutsisi, Jubi Mayet, yes. And always a very pleasant, going person. Always to the grassroots. It spoke the total of the people, even wherever she walked. There was no stardom or divadom about her, right, but just her ordinariness and a sense of purpose.
And obviously she played a huge role during the apartheid era, like you've already alluded to, in terms of her songs and just entertaining people during that time. The younger generation perhaps will not be familiar, but I'm sure she has managed to transcend across generations. What kind of a message do you think she was passing?
I mean, the message was that you need to stand for what you believe in, and you've got a talent, and nothing should stop you from articulating and displaying your talent. When some kind of a rival organized people to throw acid onto her face in order to discourage her from standing in front of people, she so much believed in her own talent that when she stands in front, people are not going to look at that face. The face gets itself to become a musical note that people so much loved.
And that says a lot about the character that she was, that even after the acid attack, beautiful as she was and still remains, she still managed to go out there and continue singing. We actually have on the phone line, shall we still call her the Princess of Africa when it comes to music, Ms. Yvonne Chaka Chaka, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Unfortunately, under such sad circumstances, with Thando Klaasen having passed away, what are your memories of her?
Thank you for having me, and hello to our viewers. It's, I'm just happy that you've got that young man talking so great about a mother. It shows that Mam Thandi was about every day, about everything. That's why even younger people resonate with them to want to do what they did. When I went to the Market Theatre to watch that whole musical, I was gobsmacked. I thought this is of international standards. So that's what Mam Thandi brought to us as young people.
And it resonates also in, we're at the house where, people are paying their last respects, and they're saying it's actually a celebration of her life, not so much a sad situation, but we'll have to leave it there for now. Yvonne Chaka Chaka there on the phone line, just giving us her take and what she remembers of Thando Klaasen. Thank you so much for your time. You at home also can pay your tributes to the jazz veteran. You can call on 011-542-2186 to pay your tributes, and we'll be so happy to hear from you. Coming back into studio, Professor, thank you for staying with us. Yvonne Chaka Chaka, they obviously speaking very fondly of the late Thando Klaasen, also being in the same industry as her, in the career that we have seen her go through the past decades. What kind of a legacy do you think Thando leaves?
I think Thando looks a very, very, very huge legacy. It is demonstrated that she has got the Boabab honor that the president had given to her. She had won the Count Pushkin prize for music. She had won the living legend thing in Bogoto, Women in the Arts things. Her song and her own very being. People forget that we did not get our country liberated simply by armed struggle. It got liberated by the role that arts and culture had played. She played with Miriam Makeba, Dorothy Masuga, Roberta Fleck, Patricia LaBelle, and all of these people during the big anti-apartheid things in overseas. She drew attention to who we are, and that's one of the biggest legacies that you do. But what I remember about her is that she's just one person with an indomitable spirit, the spirit that you cannot put down. You could put in stones and bury her, but Thandi's memory shall always loom absolutely large. She was just
Should
one of a
always
kind.
rise. Well, such fond memories. There we have our reporter who's outside Thando Klaasen's house as the family members are gathered there paying their last respect. Natasha Piri, very good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. We cross back live to you. A few hours ago, you were telling us how it really is a celebration of her life and how her family and friends are just gathered and remembering the beautiful person that she was, not just as an artist, of course, but as a human being as well. Can you just bring us up to date with regards to the proceedings so far?
Well, very good afternoon to you, Audrey, and to the viewers once again. And just to actually corroborate what you were saying, indeed, lots of people coming in here, lots of influential people, legendary musicians also saying the same thing, indeed, that they're not here to mourn the life of their dear beloved friend, but actually they're here to celebrate the life of the late Ntuli. But just to take you through what just actually happened a couple of minutes ago, we just saw the Minister of Arts and Culture, Natim Teta, walk in, as well as the mayor of Ekurhuleni, Mzwandile Masina. We also saw the likes of Mamleta Mbuli walk in, Joe Mafela, and of course, earlier on we were with Uba Babsi Mlangeni, but we actually joined by Uba Blondie Konama, and he was very close to Ntuli. He'll just relate his fondest memories of the late icon. What do you remember her for? She lived her life to the fullest, and what do you have to say?
Well, I can tell you, Guti, when it comes to performance, that was my school. That was my school. She's one of the ladies who taught me, Uguti, don't stop, don't like, just go She's amazing. She is one of the most amazing performers I've grown up knowing. She is actually my elder sister's age. So because of my elder sister's involvement in music, I was able to be exposed to all these legends. And we became special friends. I was little. I mean, she's not really my friend. She's my elder, but she is so childlike that you forget she's much older than you. Her advices, what she tells you, in all honesty, straight up, there's no way you can walk away from her with what's happening, and basically I'd just like to say to the family, Seguliwe, Seguliwe, Wasatubuli sipamu sashoga mnandi, Guliwe sashoga mnandi, Guliwe satubuli sipamu.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song, beautiful tribute, beautiful rendition to the late Ntuli. I'm still going to keep you here for a while. Blondie, I mean, we were talking about Babsi earlier on, saying that yes, Ntuli was a straight talker. She took no nonsense. She called a spade a spade. Just, can you relate any moments of that?
One of the things she liked to say, she's like, abantu abaningi yazi babulawa HIV, abanye babulawa abanye baphethwe high blood, abanye baphethwe ushukela, athi mina ngiphethe itswayi. That's how straight she was.
Oh, we won't relate that. And for those who know what that is, we won't relate that to the viewers at home.
It's called Cerebos. She's basically, I don't know what to say to this, but she's just full house. She's full house, and I owe my growth as a musician to her being. Seeing her perform, seeing her tackle an audience, she reminds me of a younger guy, Freddie Mercury from Queen, and she was just such a performer. She was, I don't know what to say about this amazing woman. Honestly, I'm just humbled to have known her, and I have grown knowing her, and I am stronger knowing her. Nithinjena mbokodo alehlanga elingehlile so asiqineni maqabani musicians, be strong. Tina, I'm here as a representative of Music Association, Music Performance Association of South Africa, MPASA. She was one of our members, and we came to do what we must do. Our mandate is to to grow the industry one more time, to basically industrialize the legends chapter, you know, to take care of the legends, make sure that they don't live, they don't die paupers, and by the time that they go, that in our associations with our partners, our insurance company like B3, that we should be able to give our legends a decent funeral, you know, and we are humbled, you know, as Mpasa, that groups like B3 have come on board to say our legends will have a nice life, and they will also have a great send-off, and this is our involvement here.
Talking about a great send-off, I was speaking to Lorraine, Umamtandi's daughter, earlier on, and she was saying that even up to the point where she died, when she was in hospital, she brought smiles upon the other patients as well. Paint us a picture and paint the viewers a picture there at home. I mean, Unjain, how's the atmosphere here?
Here, I haven't seen anybody coming here cry. I haven't seen that. Everybody walks in and is touched by a memory of Sis Thandi. And, you know, much as you come in and you want to like feel, you know, like people like look at you and like, uyamkhumbula Sis Thandi wathini? Uyamkhumbula Sis Thandi bekayenzani? So you end up like, ka. There is no tears in this house, only joy. And thank you, South Africa, for always standing by your legends, and don't stop right now, because right now is the time when you can celebrate the legends' good living. We are going to live good because the president of this country has authorized that.
And talk about living good, and talking about, you know, the support that you've seen here in South Africa, not only on social media, but internationally as well. So many people have come to show their support of Mam Thandi, saying that they remember this and that about Mam Thandi, her favorite songs like Sapphire Town, the accolades that she won as well, the Golden Globe of Baobab, excuse my pronunciation. But I mean, just talking about her legacy lastly, I mean, what kind of a legacy does she leave behind?
Pity that us as a country, we haven't dug into this section of our liberty, that we haven't created a place where we capture these legendary living. It's just a great pity. But I pray and hope, Uguti, throughout all this chaos, that some of us have been able to capture her legacy, so that we can share with our children, because we can talk about her, but if you can't show it, then really it's hard for the children to pick up. So we are saying, Guti, our stories from now on will be documented. This is the one revolution that's going to be televised, you know. So going forward, thank you, South Africa. Thank you for enjoying this woman. Thank you for giving us space in your houses, in your halls, in your cinemas, in your stadiums to entertain you.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut you there. A huge tribute here from Blondie, talking about the woman that Mam Thandi was, that she was really larger than life, straight talker, straight to the point, honest, but listen, she lived her life. Unfortunately, you're going to have to cut it here, Audrey, and cross back to you in studio.
An end of an